Hello, Mom. Today I will be interviewing for a History of the Americans project for IB, and the project is an interview called Where I Fit in the Story. It's about how our family originates and fits into the American story. First off, Mom, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of course. My name is Darcy Rubel. I was born to Diane McWilliams. At the time, she was Diane Gassick, and my father was Bob Rubel. They met in Meridian, Mississippi when he was in training pilots for Vietnam. He was a pilot himself. So after they separated, she married Joe McWilliams, who was my stepfather, and I was raised with them from the time I was 2, and they are originally, for years and years and years, from that area of Mississippi, to the point they have a road named after them. So that's where most of my family still lives. My father and my grandmother, who I used to visit on my father's side, is in, they live in Orlando, Florida, well, my dad does. So, as to our nationality, your great-grandmother on Grandy's side, my mom, says that she was from Norwegian English descent, but nobody really knows. And her grandfather, they say that he is from Polish descent, but once again, they don't know. His last name was Gassick. The story is that they shortened it when his family came over on a boat from Gasikowski to Gassick. And my grandmother always said that he spoke Polish in his sleep. So that's...
Okay, so as for the question, where did our family come from? It would be we live in Mississippi, but we originated a few years ago from Poland. On this boat, was it for like a refugee type situation, or were they coming over to try to have an American success story?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Nobody really knows the history of it. These are all just guesses. I will say that on my dad's side, we're like 25% Native American, and it's my great grandmother is Native American.
Do you know specifically what form of Native American, like
Cherokee?
Cherokee,
From the Virginia, North Carolina area.
I remember hearing a while back that my grandma, your mother, was also some form of Native American, or was that not true?
No. That's from my dad's side.
Your dad's
and
side.
Our last name is Dutch German, so I assume we're largely in that Eastern European German.
And this information is passed down through just word of mouth?
Pretty much. I do believe that we have some, what do you call that? We have some people who have done the Ancestry.com, and I've looked at it a few times, but I don't remember everything. But that's on Bob, your grandfather's, my dad's side.
All right. Precisely how many generations can you trace back from your family on either side?
Not very many. Maybe up to my great-grandparents, but I'd have to sit down and look at some of that because I didn't know them.
Can you
maybe great-great.
Can you recall any names?
Mariah was my great-grandmother on my father's side.
So Mariah Rubel?
They were up from the Virginia, kind of in the semi-mountain range. We have a lot of nice pictures from when my dad was young with them. And I don't remember his name. And then on my mom's side, Mildred is my grandmother, and then her mother, it's my grandfather's mother. I can't remember her name either. But apparently she was a very large, happy woman who liked to eat a lot of sweets.
Interesting.
Grandy knows her name, but I can't remember.
All right. Do you recall any places of birth or birthdays? of these people?
Grandma Rubel was December 11th, and she was born in Virginia. I don't remember the little town. My mom is October 11th, and she was born in Chicago, Illinois,
All right.
and raised there. And she has a brother and a sister.
All right.
And they're your cousins. They have moved all over. Some are in North Carolina, but most of them are in California now.
All right. So you say a lot of people on your dad's side were born in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure on the Native Americans and their whereabouts, but aren't Cherokee more predominant in Virginia?
Yes, there's a lot of them there, but they are a widespread tribe.
Do we have any veterans in our family that you know of?
Lots of veterans. We are a heavy veteran family. On my dad's side, your great grandfather was a pilot in World War II. I have the thing. We have an original silk map on the wall, if you remember, that's framed from then.
I remember.
Bob, your grandfather, was a pilot in the Navy, and your grandfather was in the Air Force. Then who else? Oh, your uncle, Bob's brother, he was in the Navy up until recently, and he still works up in D.C., and he was like 30-something year veteran. And I was in the Navy for 11 years. You have several cousins in Mississippi who are Army and are sheriffs. It's not military, but it's still in the government. Your Uncle Joe is a fireman, which is also a service industry. I'm trying to see who else would be. There's other military people scattered around, but those are your direct lineage of military.
Do you have any certain stories about our family that could cipher anything about our history through like the American story?
Not other than like what I just told you.
No?
I mean,
Anything dating back to like war times or
not like war stories. A lot of people back then, it took a long time for them to come out with their stories, especially in the wars, because they were so painful, and we didn't have the mental health we have now back then, so people weren't encouraged to share this. More recently they have, but I don't think that any of our family has done that. I know that your grandfather trained the pilots, like I said, and I know that was really hard on him, even so, just because it was hard for him to know he was sending people to Vietnam to die.
yes. So, do we have any genealogical records?
No, but we're going to be doing that. We got it for Christmas, your father and I. Of course, your father's from France.
He is from France.
Yeah, and all of his family's from France.
Thank you for your time.
Is that it?
That's it.